Hi, good morning. I'm Yoshua Corin. I'm the moderator for this PPC site clinic. We're in LUC. PPC site clinic is a great way for you guys to just have free rein to ask questions of our three panelists. So real personal, direct working with some of the experts. This is Nir Sever.
But he's the real expert, by the way.
Okay, no problem. With Real Influence. Adam Tal of adamtal.com and Dan Parra from PPC Pros. So the format of a site clinic is pretty much for you guys to ask questions. As you can see, it's an intimate group, so just feel free to hit them up with questions, and we will pass all the questions around to the three panelists and try to answer them to the best of our ability. And I'll probably chime in a little bit myself too.
Only ask us questions we can answer. Right? Okay. So stop.
That was a joke, everyone.
I've got a website that doesn't really have my name is David. I'm e-commerce specialist. I run a few websites privately for friends and family as well. And one of the sites exists that doesn't really have an obvious goal. I keep trying to tell the people they need to have a goal. I want to see if I'm correct. The website is sosensational.co.uk. It's clothing for women, right? And hopefully this website will be able to tell you a bit more about itself without me.
Are you bringing it up?
So, sensational?
Yeah.
That's the other you can?
Yep. Yep.
That is the website?
Yep. Oh, so sensational.
What?
Sensational.
Oh, sensational.
What? Text on here. That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a better.
This is it.
Okay.
So PPC, what can I do? What are your hints and tips?
Where would you start? Your question, if I can restate it, is where would you start with this site in terms of PPC? Want to give it a shot?
Your target market, obviously, is UK.
Only UK.
So I would say start with a campaign that targets only one city, your best demographic, whatever that may be, Sheffield, London, whatever. Maybe start with a small city, and that way flesh out which terms have decent traffic and conversion. And once you know what's working, expand to London, all of UK,
Right.
Anything else?
Yeah, sure, dude. Where's your opt-in? I mean, like, if I want to put my...
Top right. The sign up.
No, but why do I have to click it before I can put my email in there?
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing you could ever do. I mean, that you haven't... I should, like, be able to put my name and email without clicking anything. And I didn't even see it before somebody told me. I mean, like, I think it's the #1 most important thing in every website that you want to sell stuff. Like, you want to sell stuff, right? I mean, how do you sell stuff online, right? Like, the way I know how to do it is through email marketing.
They're not that much into email marketing.
Like, but they are into your stuff, right? They want to buy from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's what happens is they see your ad on Google or whatever, and then they click it, and then they come to your homepage. They have no idea what they should do next. They have no idea what they landed on, and then they just bounce off. And in analytics, you'll see a bounce rate, a very high bounce rate. So, if you give them a specific goal, which is, I think, the point where you started from, first of all, try to get their email. Try to get anything that will keep them in touch with you, right? Is that what you...
Yeah, I mean, like, email is awesome. Like, imagine this. Every time you send an email, you, like, sell a lot of stuff. And that's, like, awesome, right? Because right now, when they come to your website, what do you want them to do? Like you said yourself, you have no goal. So let me give you your goal, and then you go do it. Get their email. You can't do anything smarter than this. And like, if your competitors in this niche don't know that, then you're gonna dominate. Because, like, imagine this: every time you send an email to like 10,000 people, the way my business works. I can make them go to anywhere I want, as long as it's a website, right? And then they can buy my stuff, which is like the point of the business. So everyone here that has a website and doesn't have a clear opt-in form, put your name and email, is doing himself like a serious major problem.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask you a question about your site?
Yeah.
Is this a direct buy, or you're going to be passing people off to stores?
It's an affiliate, yeah.
It's an affiliate site.
Yeah.
Something that I would probably start with in terms of an approach to a PPC campaign is take a look at your navigation and the different types of products that you have, and create individual campaigns for each of those. Make sure that in your campaign settings you use site links, the site links extension, that makes your ads look much nicer and more relevant. And start with probably a more limited campaign. Don't just go after the headwords, but like I would say something for a site like clothing, you could use manufacturer names, particular lines of products, and bid on those. Something that's a little bit more further in the funnel. Not that somebody, oh, I'm looking for hats. It's not like you don't want to find the women who are looking for hats. You want to find women who are looking for, and we can actually probably find it pretty quickly.
What are your best selling items now?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have right now. That's the problem. They're doing a broad, like what I call the shotgun approach. Fire away and see what happens.
Right, and that's the type of approach that I would stick away from when starting with PPC, but a little bit more targeted, try the rifle approach. So you can come off, especially with the names of manufacturers, and ultimately you'll bring them to whatever the manufacturer page is, bring them as a destination URL.
Do you have any ads running?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a keyword you're going after?
Mother of the bride.
Mother
of the bride, mother of the groom.
Can we maybe bring up the
Can we see an ad
for the
Yeah, can we
keyword?
look for the keywords and see his ads?
Is that a brand?
No, you won't see them here because it's in the UK.
Let's. Can you pull up
UK
the
only.
ad preview tool so we can look at ads in the UK?
Is that a brand name, Mother of the Brand?
No. We're not using brand names because we did originally, and we got complaints from because they have mothers of brides.
Yes, so let me
Now,
just
whoever is not doing what we're going to do right now, when you look at your competition, it's very important. Before I write any ad, any PPC ad, in my case, before I even start a website, I go to the ad preview tool and I look for ads on. Are we doing that?
no, this is a UK search.
Oh, cool. Okay, so if you're in Israel, you just type in Google ad preview tool, and you can see ads from across the world. Because in Israel, I don't see the same.
Or
ads
what I
that
did
people in
here, I typed in ampersand GL equals UK, and that will set the settings in Google directly. So these are real PPC results. That preview tool is good. These are actual UK results.
So
So it's not there.
the-
My ad's not there.
what you want to do here is consider that your ad is going to be somewhere in between all of these,
It's right there.
and you need to
Training
get
window.
Outfits
what is one? Cool.
at the bottom.
That's good.
Now,
Well,
what you want to
about
do is you want to stand out somehow. So the approach that I would take is say something like, get something for free now, like get some tips on how to pick something, or get a coupon code for top brands or something like that. And then even in your position, you'll get more clicks than other people. And then when they land on your website, I would even do like a pop-up that comes up as soon as the people land on your website and ask for their email and tell them, listen, here's 5 off of anything you buy or whatever, or here's a coupon or whatever, and grab their email before they get a chance to do anything else.
So
Then they can browse.
I'm going to make one other comment, and then we'll maybe open up the floor to others. Although we're happy to continue talking about the site if need be. Something that I like here, the top ad, you can see that they have the site links, and you can see that they use the keyword in their ad text, okay, which makes it bold. And because they put a period at the end of the first line of the description, when you're in a top spot, it gives you 25 characters plus 35 characters. So you can lead with a keyword that's like mother of the bride, which is less than 25 characters, shopper, top European designer, so good call to action right there, telling you exactly what you're looking to do. Oh yeah, I'm a mother of the bride, and that's what I'm looking for, mother of the bride, wedding boutique, wedding style. It's very relevant.
Could you say that again? If you have a full stop.
The reason why all the ads on the top are showing their, well, interesting that they don't put it on the third one. Usually, an ad in the top position can show more than 25 characters for the headline. There's a headline, first line of the ad description, and second line of the ad description. If you use a punctuation mark at the end of the first line of the ad description, you'll be able to have what's called an expanded headline.
Could I ask you a bit of a more sophisticated question? I mean, what's your sales funnel? They click the ad, they go to the website, what happens next?
Well, this is the problem. My client, as such, doesn't have a main goal. So as much as they want to sell like the shotgun approach again. It's just they want to sell stuff.
Do you expect me to go to the website and buy?
Yes.
This is your expectation?
Well, that's there. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I think that a better approach would be to create a sales funnel, which is like, I think you should think of marketing as a process and not as one action. I think that a lot of people make the mistake of paying for an ad and then you go to the website and then you buy or not. I think that you could be more sophisticated than that. Look at marketing this way. See, they click the ad, they go to the website, and then they get something for free, like a free report, a free video, or something like that. And then you like create a relationship, and then you try to sell. And then if you don't sell, then you give more value. And then you try to sell, and then try to sell. And then if at the end, like it could be like after 6 months, if they don't buy, send them to your competition.
Yeah.
Don't waste money. Give the leads to your competition and extract even more money. I mean, this is a bit of a more sophisticated approach to marketing. It goes beyond the ad. It goes like looking at your business and the process itself. So your mistake is that you're not making an invitation to enter a process because, you know.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that line of thinking. Also, on PPC, there's a lot of issues as an affiliate where if you're, the company you're sending traffic to finds out you're doing PPC on certain terms, they might drop you, get very angry at you for even bidding against them.
Yeah, we've had that on their name. They can't really get us for anything else apart from using their name.
If they see you too much in the same terms that you're bidding on, they'll consider you a competition and drop you. So they won't want to compete against you.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe we can.
sorry, just one last comment. As an affiliate, I often find that there are too many unpredictable problems that you face, and if they even lower your payout, commission or whatever, you might find that you're not able to compete anymore and not able to pay the price for PPC ads. And if at that point you just stop, then your income stream is dry. So, but if you save all the leads, all the emails, you can keep marketing to them and keep selling to them.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Osteo. And I want you to go to a specific page. If you see, it comes up. You see B'maus Tipatim Metapelet. If you put your mouse over B'maus Tipatim Metapelet,
yeah,
then click on Pritzat Disk. Click it. So I have a PPC that goes to this page.
Where's the opt-in form? Where do I put my email?
You're going to hear this.
I have problems with my eyes. I can't seem to see it.
It's further down.
Maybe we'll start.
Oh, so this is why I didn't see it. No.
There you go. There you go.
But I don't like scrolling. You see,
Right.
it's a problem with me. What do you think I should do?
You want to phrase the question? That's what you're looking for.
Well, firstly, how should it be set up as a PPC page?
You have ads running.
I have ads running. If you go to Google COIL and you put in Pritzat Disk,
First of all, I wouldn't recommend advertising outside of Jerusalem.
well, I have two clinics, one in Tel Aviv, one in Jerusalem.
So then, one campaign for Tel Aviv, one campaign for Jerusalem. Separate campaigns.
Separate campaigns. Why separate campaigns?
Because you want to tell the Jerusalem people you have a clinic in Jerusalem, so call our Jerusalem clinic. Tell the Tel Aviv people, clinic in Tel Aviv, call our Tel Aviv clinic.
Right.
Have two separate landing pages as well. Because if I live in Tel Aviv, I really don't care that you have another branch in Jerusalem. I really don't care. I want to know I want the address in Tel Aviv as soon as possible above the fold, which means I don't need to scroll. And you really have to think.
Scrolling is bad.
Okay. You really have to get into the mind of the person who's looking for you. And the first thing I noticed in most Israeli websites of clinics and stuff is I have to either go into the Odot, like the About Us page, or the contact page, or scroll down to the footer to see the address, which is, I don't care about where you started and when you started and how many degrees you have and all that stuff. I want three things. I want your address, your phone number, I guess you could put that as contact details, and I want an opt-in form where I can either fill in a form as a lead and have someone contact me back, or get some sort of a discount or a tip or some sort of information that will help me decide where I want to go, because usually what I'll do is I'll click a couple of ads and I'll see your site and I'll have your competitors in a tab, and I'll just compare and decide. And if you say, listen, just put your email here and I'll tell you why you need to come, not to me, why you need to treat this thing and how you're going to treat it and what the side effects are and stuff like that, I'm going to probably put my email on your website and not the other website. And then I'm going to trust you more. So the next week when I'm ready to come, I'll remember you and I'll have your address in my email.
Here you're showing your ad here, and you have your Tel Aviv address showing. If you had separate campaigns for Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, right now we would see the address in Jerusalem, which would be better.
Right.
And you could also change one of your site links to show something else related to Jerusalem. So it's very local.
Right, perhaps something like the which bus line gets there, how it's accessible.
But you're doing very well.
Can we go back to the landing page?
Yeah.
Which is not even a landing page, by the way.
Why in terms of what?
Okay, so yeah, some landing
I mean,
page.
it's not a landing page, by the way. Landing page is a page. This is a website, right?
Right.
So it's not the same thing.
Yeah, so you need to remove the header, you need to remove the navigation. I like that you have a video testimonial, it's great, but just lower it a bit and have an opt-in form with some sort of an ethical bribe, where you give them a reason to...
It's called a mafia offer, which they can't refuse. Right? He's a lawyer.
Because the videos are very, very powerful. Patients come. If you go down, there are about 15
most
videos.
of the people who landed on this page never saw the video. And if you gave them a real good reason to put their email, you can send them this video next week. You send them, like, the first email could be, here are the tips that I promised you, or whatever, here's the information, or here's the ebook about whatever that I promised you. And then the next week you send an email, here's a very touching story from one of my clients who healed miraculously, blah, 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 from whatever, and you send that video and more people will see it.
Can we make some more fun of his opt-in page? Could you go down a bit? Yeah, would that
More
be
people see the email than the page? You think more people see the
No,
Of course.
more people see the page, but most of the people, if you go into Google Analytics, you'll see the bounce rate, which means how many people saw the page and then bounced off. And it would probably be around 50%, sometimes 80%. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, the way the human mind works, the more options you give them, the less inclined they are to do something, right? Because everybody is us.
Well, I'd like to ask for the panelists if we can keep a little bit more focused towards PPC.
Yeah.
Right.
This isn't a landing page site clinic or
All right,
an
okay.
optimization site clinic, but like this
Okay, so
in terms
could
of
be
focus.
the last comment of the day? Could it be this one? Because it's really important.
Go for it.
I mean, you're wasting all of your money on PPC that doesn't work because you're failing to get their email because the way the human mind works is you're giving them too much options, right? You're asking for their CD address and their bank account and their wife's name and all of these details.
That being said, can I jump in?
Yeah.
When someone's looking for an osteopath or they're in pain, they're not interested in leaving their email address, obviously. They just want an appointment as soon as possible to get help for their pain. So a lot of times people are happy to see your ad. They won't even click on your ad and go to your website. They just want to see your phone number and they call directly from the ad. So who cares about the landing page? Just get your name out there, be in the top results of PPC with your phone number, and you're going to win the game.
You win the part of the game, that part of the game.
Well, for a service like osteopathy, where you just want to get out of pain today, email address is irrelevant.
I tend to agree. You need your phone number and address on the ad, but whoever clicked it and got there, again, have the contact details on top as clear as possible, and just maybe just an email that says we'll get back to you, and just like to finish off the question, again, you'll have like 50% of the people who did see the page bounced off or went away to your competitor or whatever. So they might call you and make an appointment, but they might also call someone else or whatever. So give them a reason to to keep getting information from you.
And something that might work in the PPC ad like this would also be in a site link your hours of availability. Right?
Should have that in the PPC?
In one of the site links.
I would go further and say just
so because you have your cell phone number, so that means if I was going to call you, oh, do I want to reach this doctor at 8 o'clock at night? Well, maybe you wouldn't mind. Maybe you wouldn't mind getting that call. So if you can put your hours of availability, again, I think what Dan is saying makes a lot of sense for your business because people don't necessarily need the value proposition per se from your site, right? They might just make that call directly.
So I have a moked that people can phone 24 hours. So I would put 24 hours, 03,
Sure. You think that might be another way to do it? And when people actually make it to your site, that you are more really focused on the value proposition. I will heal your pain, get you out of pain. That's what this video is doing. And it says that Pritzat disc in Kushavarego and 3 people in. Boom. So if you can put that as more of like, do you have a problem with the Pritzat disc? Well, yeah, that's why I came to the site. So a specific landing page might be proper because you know that they have a Pritzat disc because they clicked on an ad that's a Pritzat disc. So you don't have to like sell them that they're not trying to find that information about fixing their Pritzat, but they do want to know that, oh, I might feel better in a week or two by meeting with you.
Yeah, and we're being bold promise.
Next, the immediacy of dealing with your prospects. You can make separate campaigns for certain hours. So if that cell phone number is going to be answered live by you, you could make that a separate campaign. You know, doctor on call, talk to you immediately, give you a free consultation, and you can make a separate campaign for those hours where it's actually true. You're not just leading them on to go to a call center. You have another campaign that only goes to the call center. Say, call center, be upfront, call center 24/7. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, within 2 hours.
Yeah, all the ads that are running during the night, make sure you have 24 hours a day on the landing page because I'd assume that you won't.
Well, I turn my ads off from 10 o'clock at night.
And then what happens? Goes to the call center and then you
they
leave a
turn on.
message.
Then they turn on at 6 in the morning.
No, he's saying that it's using ad schedule.
It's using
Oh,
that.
cool.
But you might want to run through the night and have a separate campaign for nighttime.
Right.
You can do that as well.
So we're going to move on. I'll open the floor to additional questions.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you, Doctor. Yeah.
You mentioned like making separate campaigns. What is the difference between doing that and just making separate ads between the same campaign?
Well, campaigns, you can modify the day targeting. You can modify the geo-targeting, as well as other variables. You can't do that in the ad group.
More questions?
Is there a difference in the way you actually between the service and product system? I'm an attorney. How do I sell the services if I'm not selling the product? Is there a difference?
Yeah, so I think it comes back to what he said before. his solution is more immediate, right? If I'm locked outside of my house and I need someone to break in the door, I need it right now. So this is his approach. And he was right about this guy, but in your case, I think that our approach is much smarter because you want to be the rock star of your niche, right? You want to be the guy. When you go to conferences, people take pictures with you, right? So in this case, I think you should take their email and you should build a relationship, and people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So you should set your PPC campaigns for the landing page, which takes their name and email and then builds a relationship, puts them in a sales funnel with clear goals. So you have like a site or a landing page because it correlates to the whole.
Why should someone give him his email?
Oh, what a great question you're asking. I mean, you should give them a mafia offer, right? You should give them like, stop, don't consult with any lawyer before you read about these 10 mistakes that people make while choosing a lawyer, right?
White paper.
Like a free report. Like, do not. If you don't read this, the world will end tomorrow. You want to read it right now, right? So then, after they read it, they should be getting value. Even if they choose not to do business with you, they should learn something about what they want. But, surprisingly, they are more inclined to do business with you since you're the one who wrote the report and gave it to them. It's like a free sample.
What's your specialty?
Copyright, internet law.
Do you have a white paper report that you can offer free? Someone else's white paper that you can modify and make it your own?
What I can offer is something which I would like 10 tips for how to cope with copyright claim or stuff like that.
Who is your perfect client? I mean, are you trying to work with musicians and artists who are trying to protect their work, or what, like more like attempt?
I don't have a niche client. I won't give anyone who needs help with the copyright, either the bridge or the defendant or whatever they need, or internet issues. Right? I think it's so much niche in itself, so I didn't try to check more.
You have a website? Do you have ads running?
Yeah.
Shall we check out some?
This will bring us to a different topic on PPC, which is display advertising, which I think is what you were getting at. If you have a niche that you'd like to target, like internet savvy people, you would target specific websites, like Globes or whatever that have AdSense available, advertising. And you put up banner ads or text ads, and you target those people with your banner ads.
Within those networks or relevant.
You target relevant sites that you think your demographic is hanging out and reading. And that's the other part of this PPC is display advertising. And a lot of times, certain niches, it's hard to compete for copyright lawyers to be like $10 a click. So it might be,
It's less new.
It's good for you.
You might have international lawyers that are also advertising on Israel, and it could be expensive sometimes in certain issues.
The first thing you need to do, is to figure out who your perfect client is. To try to imagine a person and figure out where they hang out and stuff like that. So a good example would be, I used to be a musician, and we spent a lot of time figuring out. As you know, musicians and lawyers doesn't work together. We think differently, we speak differently. Well, eventually you realize that you have to make money, and then you either go into internet marketing like I did, or being a lawyer if you have brains. And we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to protect our music. So eventually we figured out we need to go to a lawyer and just give him a copy, and he puts it in a safe and stuff like that, and we had like a contract with the girls in our videos and stuff like that. And if you create a banner that's with musicians in mind and young people in mind, and you advertise on websites that has to do with music creation and artists and all that stuff, and you advertise like, here are 10 tips to protect your music. Make sure that no one steals your art. No one, or if someone rips you off, we'll make sure you get compensated and stuff, and protect yourself now, whatever. And you have a cool banner. It goes to a landing page. where you, again, a landing page specifically targeted towards musicians, where you speak their language and you say, listen, I'm not like all lawyers. I don't even wear a suit. I'm cool. I'm like you. And you know, I know how to.
Look, right? Look, right? He doesn't wear a suit, by the way.
Yeah,
He actually
don't
does.
lie.
Okay. And we're going to open up for our last question because the session ends in about 5 minutes.
The meaning
Extra
of
point
life.
for South Park questions.
The meaning of life.
Display advertising, by the way, is a very difficult product to manage. There's many different techniques and methods, but I would say that you should be looking at display advertising.
Dan, could you share maybe a couple basic tips for moving into the display space?
Display space, I would choose one ideal website that you want to have a presence, that you see that there's Google advertising available, and make a campaign specifically for that
I
website.
can target the sites.
Yeah, you target one specific site. So you're not using keyword targeting, you're specifically targeting one placement. It's called placement targeting.
You'll see it in AdWords under managed placements.
One,
I recommend that as a start.
One good tip that I can share, which will later transform into shameless self-promotion.
Oh, not that again.
When you work with display ads, try to have a lot of banners ready. So, because the way it works is people have this code that they put on their website that will automatically display Google banners, and they get paid for it. And each website has a different space or arrangement for the banners. So one website will have like a huge banner like this, the other one will have a tiny one like this, or like a square or whatever. And you need as many banners as you can to make sure you get all the spots that are available, and then you can find out which websites work best for you. So for example, with the musicians, you go to one website that's about guitars or whatever, and they have like a banner like that, and you advertise there, and one website about music production, and they have this banner, and you have the two banners working, and then you can figure out which site worked best for you and got you the best leads and more sales. Now, the way I do it, and this is the self-promotion part, sort of self-promotion, I built a tool for myself because I have a lot of campaigns as an affiliate, and I'm very, very lazy. And I hate creating banners. It's the worst thing ever, and it's very expensive to hire good people who make them. So I created a tool where you can just put your headline and call to action, and it will automatically create, I think, 90 banners at a time or something like that. And if you want to load it up, it's called aglybannersworthbetter.com.
There's also a tool within AdWords that creates banners for you as well, Display Ad Builder. And you can use that. I would recommend using that as a first method if you don't want to use third-party tool. As a first method for experimenting with calls to action, wording, graphics, see what works, and then once you have a basic idea of what's working, hire somebody to make a professional banner for you.
And
based on those kinds
in terms of your messaging, see if you can boil down into one sentence, why should somebody buy from you? Why should they work with you? That clarity in your value proposition will go all the way in terms of PPC, whether it's going to be in display or in search. But display advertising, you have an opportunity to show that one message as a headline. So whatever you can, that might take some time to figure out how you want to say your value proposition. But one sentence that says, why should I buy from you?
In your case, it could be something like, protect your art with a lawyer who understands you, or something like that. A lawyer who doesn't own any suits. Do you want to put it on the website?
Well,
it's a very cool website.
I think we're out of time. Thanks though, Adam. I really appreciate everybody joining us for the PPC site clinic. The panelists maybe we'll sit around for a couple more minutes if people want to come up and ask some questions privately. So thank you so much.